we see two types of prophets. Anti-temple prophets oppose the money of the big temple and the falsehood of the priests and establish clearly that God is on the side of the poor, the widow, and the like. As the prophet Amos says, perhaps the angriest, you cows of Bashan, saying to your slaves, bring that we may drink. The Assyrians will come with pruning hooks and cast you into the sea of Galilee because you oppress the poor and sell the needy for a pair of shoes. He's among the harshest, but Elijah deserves mention. In fact, his name kind of says a lot. His name says that El, that generic god of the Fertile Crescent region, particularly the region of Canaan, is in fact Yah. El is Yahweh or Jehovah. So with Elijah, we have the continuing anti-prophet traditions where Elijah's castigating the original painted lady Jezebel. People often like to talk about the oppression of certain women in certain Abrahamic traditions, but in fact, Bible fashions go back to Elijah and beyond. So that men should have beards as God intended, and women should cover their bodies. That's part of his story, but it goes back to ancient Judaism, this idea. And so Jezebel worships Baal, we're told, and Baal is the fertility god, again, of the Fertile Crescent. We're told that Elijah was capable of running through the desert for days on end. He was a tireless prophet of God, and in the end challenges the prophets of Baal to a contest. Whose God will light the sacrificial fire? I think we know who won that one. And when Jehovah or Yahweh, the God of Elijah, wins this battle, all the priests of Baal are murdered. So we see a lot of violence in these stories, I must say. But we have another kind of set of prophets, the pro-temple prophets. Haggai at some point will say, with the words of God, the other gods have a house, build me a house. We'll see Ezekiel initiate numerous reforms as far as the formal structure of the religion goes. Other anti-temple prophets, though, like, and then Elijah's one of the few prophets to just disappear on a chariot of heaven into the skies, just as the earlier Jacob saw a ladder, a stairway to heaven. Some in the Hebrew Bible never die and are said, believe it or not, to come back to visit humans throughout subsequent centuries. We'll see then, however, the prophets were right. Now, we can say that land is right on an invasion route between Egypt, the Hittites, and the Babylonians. The Israelites ultimately didn't stand much of a chance militarily. And so it all happens like Amos and Elijah predict, and Jeremiah, that the Babylonians and the Assyrians will carry away the best educated, the elite of the Jewish tradition, meaning all their priests and scribes, and put them to work back in Nineveh and Babylon itself. And we call this for the Jews the Babylonian captivity. And this is the point at which we're said to have lost the 11 northern tribes of Israel to the Assyrian Empire. But Samaritans today, though few in number, will tell you they never died out fully. So there are, in fact, two legitimate Israelite religions around today. And so it's with the prophet Isaiah that we get a clear statement that there is only one God. In response to Haggai's words about building me a house, a temple, Isaiah's God says, I have no need of a house. Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool.